The collapse of civilization is a topic that has intrigued and terrified people for centuries. From the fall of ancient empires to the dystopian visions of the future, the idea of society crumbling and humanity struggling to survive is a common theme in literature, movies, and popular culture. But what exactly does it mean for a civilization to collapse? And why does it happen? Today, we will delve into the intricacies of the collapse of civilization and attempt to decipher its causes and consequences. Through historical examples and analysis of current global issues, we will seek to understand the complex and interconnected factors that lead to the breakdown of societies. By the end, we hope to gain a better understanding of this phenomenon, and perhaps even gain insight into how we can prevent or mitigate its effects. So grab your virtual time traveling gear and let's explore the collapse of civilizations. At its core, the collapse of civilization refers to a significant decline or complete unraveling of the complex socio-political and economic structures that define a society. This phenomenon is not merely about the fall of governments or the disappearance of certain cultural practices, but encompasses a broader spectrum of catastrophic failures. It entails the breakdown of law and order, the disintegration of economic systems, and the erosion of social norms and values that have sustained a community for generations. Typically, this collapse is marked by a drastic reduction in the population's quality of life, widespread poverty, and a return to conditions that predate the established systems of governance and social welfare. Understanding the collapse requires examining the multifaceted nature of societies and acknowledging that no single factor is responsible. Instead, it is often the culmination of several interrelated issues, including but not limited to environmental stress, economic turmoil, political corruption, and social fragmentation. One of the most significant challenges that can precipitate the collapse of civilization is uncontrollable population movements. Whether due to internal factors such as overpopulation straining the limited resources of a city, or external pressures like conflict and environmental disasters driving mass migrations, the sudden influx or outflow of people can have a profound impact on societal stability. The arrival of large groups in a new area can disrupt the existing social, economic, and political structures, often leading to heightened competition for jobs, housing, and basic services. This competition can exacerbate existing tensions or create new ones, potentially resulting in conflict and further destabilizing the region. Similarly, the sudden departure of a significant portion of the population can leave a vacuum in the local economy and society, weakening the foundations that sustain a civilization. These movements are not just numbers. They represent individuals and families seeking safety, opportunity, or a better quality of life, making the management of such migrations a complex and essential component in preventing the collapse of civilization. New epidemic diseases. Pandemics have repeatedly underscored their potential to devastate societies, serving as invisible but formidable foes that can precipitate the collapse of civilizations. Historical instances illuminate the profound impacts diseases can have on the fabric of society. For example, the Mayan civilization, one of the most advanced pre-Columbian societies in the Americas, faced significant setbacks due to a series of prolonged droughts compounded by the outbreak of epidemic diseases. These health crises, possibly including smallpox and influenza brought by European contact, exacerbated existing stresses such as political instability and warfare, contributing to the eventual decline of their once flourishing cities. Similarly, the Black Death in the 14th century decimated Europe's population by up to a third, profoundly altering the course of its history by causing economic upheaval, social unrest, and a profound crisis of faith in institutions. These events illustrate how epidemics can strike at the heart of civilizations, undermining their economic structures, depleting their workforces, and instilling a pervasive sense of vulnerability and fear that can erode the societal cohesion necessary for a civilization to sustain itself. Weak governance and internal strife are potent catalysts for the disintegration of civilizations, as history repeatedly demonstrates. The decline of the Byzantine Empire serves as a poignant case study. Besieged by external threats and plagued by political corruption and mismanagement, the empire's weakened state apparatus became unable to maintain control or provide for its populace, leading to widespread discontent. As factions vied for power, the social fabric began to tear, paving the way for increased warfare both from within and from encroaching enemies. These internal conflicts drained resources, diverted attention from external threats, and eroded public trust in government, further destabilizing the empire. The eventual fall of Constantinople in 1453 marked the culmination of centuries of decline, showcasing how failing states, marred by governance issues and internal strife, become exceedingly vulnerable to warfare. This pattern is not unique to Byzantium. Numerous civilizations have faced similar fates when their internal cohesion and governance structures weakened, illustrating the critical role that effective leadership and political stability play in the endurance of civilizations. Collapse of trade routes leading to famine. The intricate web of trade routes has historically been the lifeline for civilizations, enabling the exchange of goods, culture, and ideas across vast distances. These networks facilitated not only economic prosperity, but also the availability of diverse food sources, which were critical for sustaining large populations. A prime example of the pivotal role trade routes played can be seen in ancient China, where the Silk Road connected the empire with the rest of the ancient world. Disruptions to this vital artery, whether through warfare, political instability, or natural disasters, had far-reaching consequences. When access to the Silk Road was compromised, it not only stifled economic growth, but also led to shortages of essential goods, including food. Such scarcities could quickly escalate into famine, undermining the health and stability of the population. Without the means to import food from distant regions, local agricultural failures became catastrophic, demonstrating how dependent civilizations have become on the complex interconnections of global trade. Climate change poses a formidable threat to the stability and endurance of civilizations. Its impacts are far-reaching, affecting everything from agricultural productivity to sea levels and ultimately the habitability of vast regions of the planet. As global temperatures rise, extreme weather events become more frequent and severe, leading to droughts, floods, and hurricanes that can devastate communities and economies. Studies on past climate variations, such as the Little Ice Age, illustrate how dramatic environmental shifts can destabilize societies. During the Little Ice Age, temperatures plummeted, leading to shortened growing seasons and reduced agricultural output across Europe. This period was marked by widespread famine, social unrest, and increased mortality, which strained the societal structures to their breaking point. Similarly, climate change today poses a multifaceted threat, with rising temperatures, unpredictable weather patterns, and increased frequency of extreme weather events. These changes put immense pressure on water and food supplies, exacerbate land disputes, and fuel mass migrations, echoing the challenges faced by ancient societies. Transitioning to the present day, we find ourselves at a pivotal juncture in history. Ian Morris, a renowned historian, captures the essence of our current predicament when he remarks, "It's hard not to feel that we are now encountering some of the same kind of forces that have traditionally been involved in the fall of civilizations." This observation invites us to ponder, are we facing similar challenges today? The parallels between past civilizations' downfalls and our contemporary global issues are stark and somewhat unsettling. From climate change to political instability, the echoes of history resonate with a clarity that cannot be ignored. However, recognizing these challenges is only the first step. We must also reflect on our collective responsibility to navigate these turbulent waters with foresight and unity. The lessons of history are not meant to serve as a dire prophecy, but rather as a guidepost for making informed, cooperative decisions that steer us away from repeating the mistakes of our ancestors. It's essential to remember that the future is not preordained. It is shaped by the actions we take today. In light of this, the question, "Are we doomed?" is not one of fatalism but a call to action. It urges us to draw on the resilience and adaptability that have defined human progress throughout the ages. By fostering a spirit of collaboration and innovation, we can confront the multifaceted challenges of our era. The path forward may be fraught with uncertainty, but it is within our power to define the legacy we leave for future generations. Let us then choose a course that leads not to the collapse of civilization, but to its renewal and flourishing.